Alright everybody, welcome back to part 462 of Project Zomboid. If you missed the first 461 parts, I don't know what to tell you. Today we're going to be making a character in custom sandbox. And this is my character I created. His name is Jimothy Gold. He's really cool.
But what the hell, boy?
Anyway, this guy, holy shit, this guy fat as hell. He is also feeble as hell. And he's out of shape, and he's a slow healer, and he's a dumbass, so he always gets sick.
What is blood yapping about?
He's always sick, and he's a filthy smoker, and he's got all this other bad stuff going on for him. Can the narrator take over this shit for me, please?
Bruh.
Meet Jimothy Gold, an out-of-shape has-been bodybuilder from a bygone era. But as he was soon to find out, even this bygone era would soon be bygone. What the fuck? Did I really write that shit? For it was the end times, with no hope of survival. This is how he died. The story of Jimothy Gold begins in a quiet little neighborhood in Muldrock, Kentucky, the home of alcoholism. Jimothy jolts awake from a drunken slumber in the middle of his living room. The fog settles in as an ominous broadcast plays on the television in the wee hours of the morning. Something ain't quite right today. The bit rate is fucking scuffed. Also, I guess there's like an apocalypse or some shit. After scrambling together a few makeshift curtains to hide his movements, Jimothy makes his way outside to find an ugly-ass bitch on his lawn talking about "We've been trying to reach you about your car's extended warranty." "Bitch, get the hell away from me, you goddamn Babylonian IRS demon!" Jimothy shouted as he stomped the bitch on the damn head. Quietly, tiptoeing in his Jordans, he manages to break into his own shed and equips a wrench. If they can dodge a wrench, they can dodge a ball. And they ain't gonna be dodging this goddamn wrench, Jimothy muses. As the fog clears, Jimothy makes his way over to the neighbor's house to borrow a couple of eggs and a keg of bourbon. To his shock, they have succumbed to the fentanyl's curse. Why was everyone turning into zombies all of a sudden? What could have caused this? Was it the BCAA supplements? Suddenly, he catches it on the television. Anime. That must be the culprit. But what made him immune? Jimothy's mind flashes back to all those PSAs and warning labels. Creatine. It must have been the creatine. My junk may be shrunk from the monohydrate, but at least I'm alive, he thinks to himself. Creeping through the house, he jacks all the good shit, snagging a slick throwback windbreaker and a fresh new G-Shock. Finally, Jimothy was ready to audition for Space Jam 3. After a round of neighborhood cleanup and grabbing a fresh pair of hot red pants, Jimothy makes it back home just in time to catch the tail end of the fishing anime on NHK2. Shielding himself from the world's prying eyes trying to peep him in his freak-off mode, Jimothy decides that he's had enough being awake for today and slips into bed so that he can become whatever the opposite of that is. He thinks about his place in the universe and the meaning of life as he gently drifts off into sleepy time land. The next day, Jimothy awakens to a quieter street thanks to his amateur police presence. He slips his way in and out of houses, fighting the urge to eat all the double-stuffed Oreos in one sitting. His weight had done been gone up in recent times, and he knew he'd have to shed a couple few pounds in order to make any headway against the growing hordes of undead piling the streets. As he loots houses, his mind turns to thoughts of his youth. His once great physique wasted away over years of masturbating alone in front of the TV and shoveling peanut butter into his gut. But perhaps the apocalypse was a blessing in disguise. Now, faced with the threat of ever-present death around every corner, Jimothy knew that he had to get back into shape in order to survive. He would live to lift another day. As the day slips away, he turns back to his hovel for a bit of rest and spends his afternoon relaxing, reading Fabio-laden romance novels and watching gay carpentry porn. Jimothy was returning to his gym rat roots. Inspired by the homoerotic pornography, Jimothy sets out immediately to the nearest house, haphazardly ripping apart any furniture he can get his callousing hands on. He gathers a collection of planks and nails and spends his evening reading and watching Survivor Man with Les Stroud. Oh, Liv. That night, Jimothy tosses and turns in a near fever as he dreams of a better future. One filled with heavy iron, wet towels, and sweaty, muscly men with rippling physiques. Jimothy knew what he had to do. Deep within the heart of Louisville lies Salvation, an unassuming commercial complex, but with one standout: the Body Chisel Gym and Fitness Center. Jimothy would need a plethora of items to complete his journey. Vitamins, protein powder, pre-workouts to consume pre- and post-workout, barbells and dumbbells to train with. But first, he would have to survive. He would need a car, supplies, and the means to make it into the infested city center in order to create his paradise. It would not be a short journey. It would not be an easy journey, but it was Jimothy's ticket to salvation, sanity, and sweaty, burly men. He set out the next day with renewed vigor, taking on hordes, clearing his way further and further into Muldrow. The days passed. Jimothy grew stronger, more capable with each passing hour.
Actually, I would go so far as to say it was beyond full homo. It was 300% homo.
With no other options, he performed dirty, filthy calisthenics when he could. He slew more and more zombies. He refitted, rearmed, and renewed as he went, clawing and fighting for every inch he could forcefully take from the Roman armies of the unfit, the unclean, the undead. He liberated soul after soul, sending them up to Jesus, procuring more supplies, planting a farm of fresh vegetables to fuel his gains. But one day, Jimothy slipped up.
Stay on top of it. Whoa! Hi! That was bad.
an unassuming wound quickly festered. Growing sicker and sicker, Jimothy could feel it. He was infected. Soon, he too would become just another slightly buffed, rotten corpse in a sea of walking undead. With this knowledge, he stripped down to his skivvies and set out to face his demise with honor and dignity in the hopes that someone, somewhere, might take up his legacy.
Bag of fentanyl? No fucking way.